Hi, thank you for joining us for class today. On this segment, we're going to be going through focus mitt drills. Now, if you don't have focus mitts, you can use just your empty hands, but you're going to go light with your training partner. But if you do have focus mitts, we're going to be practicing punch drills that build into a big combination over these next 3 classes. These will not only build your speed and accuracy and your muscle memory, but it should give you a little bit of a cardio workout if you drill this good. The thing is, when you're doing these types of drills, you're learning new techniques, you're throwing punches, you're going to be doing subtle movements, and your mind's not even going to be registering how much of a workout you're getting. So don't be surprised if you're sore the next day, or if you find yourself nice and sweaty and everything else after you're done training with your partner. Okay, we'll be right back with the first set of drills. Okay, the first drill we're going to be doing includes some techniques that we're going to break down separately. So the first thing we're going to do is go over again how to do a fighting stance. So on this fighting stance, it's going to be in and tight. So your elbows in, your guard up, nice and tight. Make sure you're 50-50 on the weight distribution. You have bend in your knees. As you throw these punches, it's not just from the shoulder. So in your martial art class, you might be used to standing in a stationary stance just to drill, and you don't really engage the hips until you turn into other stances. On your fighting stance, you're going to be throwing these punches not just with your arms, so not like a robot. You're going to be engaging the hips. It really drives from the legs, through the hip, through the shoulder, and that's how you get strong enough power to take care of an opponent. So as you're drilling these today into those bags, you want to be power punching them out there and then retracting it right back to your tight guard. The key, the secret is use the hips, use the knee, turn the shoulder. Don't just throw with your feet flat. You're going to turn into it. Your whole body engages to get your weight behind the punches. The first punch we're going to break down for you today is going to be cross. So a cross punch is just like your corkscrew punch. It's throwing from your rear hand across your body down the center line. Okay, so just like your corkscrew punch, it comes across and throws out. So cross it out. So again, here, here, here. Okay, the second punch we're going to do today that you'll need for this combination is a hook punch. A hook punch, we're going to be drilling it with the front of the body. This one, you're going to bring your elbow up. You're going to deliver it like you're twisting the whole torso into the punch. Okay, so again, hook, hook, hook. Your hooks can also be delivered to the body, just like this. On your wrist position, on your hook, you can deliver it this way, where the back of the hand is towards the opponent. You can also deliver it horizontal like a corkscrew punch. If it's your first time doing a hook, I suggest that you throw it here. Beginners usually can keep their wrists more straight in this direction as they're twisting the body. Once you go here, you don't want to bend your wrist on these power punches. You can dislocate and break the wrist. So you want to throw with a nice flat wrist as you do it. On the hooks, the great thing about a hook punch is if you're in a tight guard here. So if you're in tight, usually people will cover up. Most people know how to do that. If their hands are down anyway, so if you find yourself in a confrontation, hands are down, you can do all kinds of self-defense from this position because they're not protected. But if you get somebody that's being aggressive, that has a little bit of an idea of what they're doing, they're going to have their hands up and protect. So from that tight guard, it might be hard for me to protect myself, but usually over here is a blind spot and it's an opening. So if I can sneak this in, your hook can get right behind those guards. If they have their guard where it's higher, so they're really kind of covered up, that's where those body hooks, you drill them in here, this can drop somebody just as easy as up to the head. So a good strong hook punch can end a confrontation pretty quick. It's nice because it gets behind their defenses and it can be a real strong punch. On those defensive, to get behind this defense, your hooks can also turn into like shovel uppercuts, which are also ones that will stop your opponent. With your partner, you'll want to drill it just like that. On your bag work, you'll want to try to meet him halfway. So as he's punching, I'm kind of slapping. So it's actually a workout for your bag person also. It's going to build their speed and coordination as well as the punching. If you don't have bags, you can still do it, but just lightly. So on these ones, you don't want to drill into your training partner's hands, but you can still have focused training. Okay? If you're doing it without bags, make sure you're keeping your hands and on it, especially if you deliver it underneath the muscle to the weak parts of the body. So if his guard is tight, that hook can also turn into a shovel uppercut where you drill the knuckles up and in, and that can drop somebody pretty easy. Okay, so drill these punches. Drill them for speed, accuracy, and power. And these are ones that can get you out of a lot of confrontations very quickly. The third punch you're going to need for this particular punch combination is going to be an uppercut. The uppercut gets delivered up the center line, and you're going to kind of drop your hip and bring it up. So again, it's being thrown from the hip right up the center. Again, and again. All right, there's one more skill you need before we get into the actual combination. And this one's going to be a duck or a bob. So as your guard's up, you're going to learn some defense also. You're going to be moving your head out of the way of a punch. When you do that, you don't want to drop your eyes. So it's not like you're bending at the waist like this. What you're going to do is you kind of drop from the knees and shoulders and just like a little U. The way we're going to drill that with the bags, from that lead stance, I'm going to throw a big punch here at the back shoulder, and he's going to go underneath it. As the bag holder, when you do that, you're going towards their head, above their shoulder, not above their head. So above their shoulder, towards their head. He has to move underneath it and come right back up to his fighting stance. So again, duck or bob. Towards their head, above their shoulder, not above their head. So above their shoulder, towards their head. He has to move underneath it and come right back up to his fighting stance. So again, duck or bob. Okay. Try to keep your eyes on your opponent. So from your hips to your shoulders, as if it doesn't bend. As if you had like a big metal pole strapped to your back. You can't bend. You're going to bend by dipping your knees, moving your hips. You're not hunching or moving your shoulders or back. So again, through there. Okay. Okay, we're going to start the combination next.